What is going on, YouTube? So here is an update on my 1999 Pontiac Firebird Formula, which is nicknamed Redskull Formula, by the way. You can find me on Instagram by that name. But yeah, I know in my previous video I was walking around the car and I didn't really have the wax buffed in that good, so I figured I'd take another video now that the car actually looks good. Well, it's still kind of dirty because it's been snowing, there's salt on the roads, and I washed the car. Really didn't want to get it out, but I did anyway, since I figured, I'd update you guys on what I've done to the car and what I'm getting ready to do to the car. So this is just kind of like a precursor for me. That way I can kind of get a before and after of the lowering springs on this car, because once I lower it, I have some UMI lowering springs that's supposed to drop the rear end 1.5 inches and the front 1.25 inches. So I figured this would be a good baseline. Park the car right here when I get them on, just for an exact comparison. So, but anyway, with that out of the way, I put some side skirts on the car. It's a Formula, it's a V6 body. They don't have side skirts. Trans Ams, they have their own side skirt kind of flows with like the rear bumper and their front bumper. They kind of, a Trans Am front bumper, looks completely different, but it also has a little flare to it. And speaking of the flare, here's the rear bumper. You can kind of see where it flares right here, and you can see that crease, and it just kind of flares out, which looks really good. And I put a Trans Am bumper on the back of my car. It just looks so much better than the Formula bumper, because the cutouts work really well. The exhaust tips, especially if you have quad exhaust tips like my car does, yeah, it looks really good. It really looks good with the smoke tail lights too. It just gives the car some contrast, since the sail panel's painted black up top. Now let's get this side. The flash comes on for a split second whenever I focus it, but anyways, you can get the general idea of how the car looks right now. The stance of it's like a monster truck. I can't stand that. And the thing floats on the interstate at high speeds. Feels like it's going to take off. If this car had wings, it probably would take off. But let's see. Oh yeah. And since I'm going around and showing you guys the things I've updated on the car, of course, there's Trans Am bumper. Gosh, it is freezing out here. One thing I have done, I replaced this shifter boot ring. It was broken, and it looked real bad. You could see like down in the console, and it didn't look good. So I replaced that with a metal one. So now that looks really good. It's not trashy looking, because my interior is clean otherwise. Dash is not cracked or anything like that. So I mean, why have that look like trash? Replaced the stereo, got the a Bluetooth stereo in here, put some floor mats in the car. Those are my axle bearings that I need to put on or put in and replace. Those are the repair bearings. They're a little bit wider than the normal bearings. So that's some stuff I've done interior wise to the car. The car is still for sale. Again, I really don't have to get rid of it. I mean, I really enjoy this car. I would just like to have a CTSV. That is like my main goal. This is like a 2-door CTSV. But I want 4 doors. And my asking price is $9,500, but of course that's negotiable. That's just like my trade value, because especially if you're shooting for a CTSV, kind of gotta throw that trade value a little bit high, because they're gonna ask for boot regardless. So so if anyone's out there that wants to trade their CTSV, a first gen CTSV, for my Formula, I mean, hit your boy up. Of course, I'll boot depending on how good and what's done to your car. And speaking of that, I'll go over the mods again with this car. This car has a Texas Speed cam. It's a 233, 239. Lobe separation's 112, 600 lift. Has a pretty good, lope to it. It's not too aggressive. It's on the more aggressive side of mild cams. And of course it's got the supporting mods with it, Texas Speed spring kit and titanium retainers. Oh, I got this Volant cold air intake. Let's see, I recently deleted the EGR, so that's gone. In my previous video, it was still on there. You know, catch can. Texas Speed long tube headers. You can kind of see them down there. And that right there is for the fuel pressure gauge. It's the electronic sender. But yeah, it's about it. Engine wise, I mean, it runs pretty good. I'd say it's probably making a little under 400 horse if I had to guess. It needs a tune. I could probably get it as close to 400 as possible. I'd say she's sitting at maybe 380 horse. You know, it's a mild build. It's not crazy. It's not super aggressive. The car has 410 gears. Of course, MagnaFlow exhaust, quad tips, and it's got Billet Specialty street lights on it. They're 17s all around. They look pretty good. It's gonna look a lot better when the car is lowered. My lord, it is freezing out here. I think it's like 29 degrees. I'm going to turn the car around and give you some choppy boy sounds, I guess. Probably not the best video, but hey, it's more of a vlog than anything. But yeah, that's it. Again, if anyone's in the market for a Formula, or you know, want to trade a first gen CTSV or a SRT8 Jeep Grand Cherokee, I'd love to have one of those too. So I'm just throwing it out there. But oh yeah, since I guess we're in the car, this thing has 146. Well, it's my daily driver. That's going to go up. Let's assume it's 147,000. I can actually breathe now. It's so cold outside. But yeah, oh, I have T-top covers for these T-tops too. If you can see that I have them off and you can see through the glass. It's a great car. I love the thing. Oh yeah, 410 gears are it's like driving a freaking big rig. But yeah, it's a great car. It runs really good. The only flaws, the Trans Am bumper that I got, it's not in perfect condition. It's got some spider webbing. The rest of the car is immaculate. You know, it's been repainted, and everything's been, you know, fixed body wise. This is one hell of a hill right here. Eventually I'm gonna have it repainted, but I mean, it's not horrible. Like, you have to, you know, really walk up to the bumper and look at it, you know, but you can tell it's not perfect, especially compared to the rest of the car, because, you know, the rest of the car is immaculate, the paint's perfect, and you got this bumper with spider webbing in it. It just kind of, you know, throws the rest of the car off. But hey, you know, the Trans Am bumper looks a lot better than that Formula bumper, or Firebird bumper I should say. But yeah, red. I love the red interior lots of this car. That's why I got a red stereo. I had to keep the red flow going. But I'll just keep dragging this video out. But oh yeah, if anyone has got an SRT8 Grand Cherokee or a first gen CTSV, hit me up. I'm willing to trade, add boot. Or if anyone's in the market to buy, of course, 9,500 best offers. Shoot me anything. And like I said, I'm in no hurry to sell this car, so don't really expect me to come down too much. I'm not a complete asshole. I'll negotiate. I mean, everything's got its price. But I mean, if you like a car enough that you want to keep, you're really not going to come down from your asking price. So just throwing that out there. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, y'all.